There are exactly 5 broken mechanics that everyone needs to master in College Football 26, and luckily for you, in this video I'm breaking all of them down so you can actually take them in your next game and start using them. From a broken way to instantly control your receiver after the snap to a way to get faster pressure on the quarterback, I've got you more than covered with all of them in this video, so don't skip out on any of them. Let's jump right into it. The first mechanic I want to break down is a trick to make tackling a whole lot better for you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we're going to pause the game. You can actually do this on the main menu. You don't have to do this every game, but we're going to come into options, come down to settings, and the setting that I'm talking about here is going to be defensive heat seeker assist and making sure this is turned on. Like I said, it's going to help you tackle a whole lot better, and you want to make sure that you have your window set to at least 100%. It says user control defenders are steered towards the ball carrier when attempting to run or dive into them. And the reason why this is so valuable for you here is going to be because if we come into, let's just say double mug, for example, right? Automatic run defense. We take this guy, stand right here over this center. What we're going to be able to do is dive tackle and basically suction tackle that guy, as soon as he touches the ball. Obviously, we know this game is really fast-paced, right? Players can move really quickly, and the speed boost is really good. So, being able to basically, I'm already diving, like right here. I'm diving this far away from him, and then I'm able to, like, literally as soon as the quarterback gives him the ball, he's already on the ground. And so that's going to be a whole lot more valuable for you, when you're calling even like zone coverage, for example, right? Because what we're going to try to do right here is, let's just say we have, we're going to try to have them throw a pass. Let's see if I can do this with 2 controllers where, boom, kind of like right there where, I'm holding 2 controllers, so it's not easy, but I'm able to dive tackle that guy where I'm tackling him, I'm so far away. Like, I'm really far away from him right here, and I'm just able to cut out the legs and prevent him from being able to speed boost. Like I said, this is a trick that's going to make your tackling way better, because traditionally what you would have to do is you guys are probably using A, which to tackle. A on Xbox, X on PlayStation, which conservative tackling can help, but especially when you have heat seeker, it's going to make it really hard for you to miss those tackles in the backfield, and so you're going to get steered towards the ball carrier, with that assist a whole lot better, and it's going to make it to where, because we know that if you conservative tackle, you can get caught in tackle battles, but when you dive tackle, you're able to reach these ball carriers from much further away and make it hard for them to be able to get away from you. So boom, we dive tackle again, and we're able to bring that guy to the ground. So really here, what I'm telling you is make sure your heat seeker assist turned on with your window set to at least 100%, so that you can come in here and make dive tackles on ball carriers, prevent them from speed boosting away, winning tackle battles, not only on run plays, but also on passes. Alright, next I want to break down a trick to control where your receivers are running while they're running their route and you're still in the pocket. This is super effective, and EA actually changed how it works this year in CFP 26. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so what I would say about this is we are going to be utilizing the quarterback playmaker. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold left trigger and we're flicking the right stick where we want our guy to run. Alright, and so this is really valuable when, for example, this is probably the most useful situation when they call like cover 2 hard flat, right? And they're able to take away your underneath passes. Like, let's just say you have a mesh concept, 2 drags. Well, now I can just playmaker right over the top of their defender, and look at all this running room down the field, because they're just, leaving it wide open, for us to just be able to playmaker up. Now, before I even break this down, I want to preface this by saying, don't overuse the playmaker, right? If they call this same defense and shade over the top, look how far their hooks are dropping back. Dump the ball off, right? You don't necessarily need a playmaker on every single play, but there are times, especially when you're rolling out, for example, right? You're rolling out away from the defense, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to call a play like this, and we're going to roll out. Now, this will be a great time to playmaker up because we have that room down the field. Now, obviously, throwing on the run, you probably want to let go of right trigger, but you can basically build an entire rollout scheme. This is what a ton of people do in this game, right? They roll out, and then they're just playmakering over the top of your zones into open space. It's all about reading the open space, but the reason why I say they changed it this year is because now you have to hold left trigger while flicking the right stick up in order to playmaker, right? And And so in previous years, you could just flick the right stick up or anywhere, any direction to be able to tell your man to go there. But now you have to actually hold left trigger, which I thought at first this year was stupid, but honestly, it's a whole lot better because you have more control. So again, boom, you can either do it while you're in the pocket or after you roll out. It really kind of just depends on, you know, where you're doing it from. But again, there are times where you're in the pocket, you call a mesh concept, and they do a great job. No one's open. You kind of just have to salvage the play, and you're able to get your guy into open space and turn that into a big game. So whether you want to do it from a rollout scheme, whether you want to roll out every play and then try to playmaker, or you're trying to do it from the pocket, it really doesn't matter. You can see how right here I get a good double team block, I roll out, I'm going to playmaker my man up, and we're going to be able to complete that pass down the field simply because we're able to get him to run over the top of the defender. You can also playmaker, like have him go like left, have him go right, but most of the time it's just going to be playmakering here into open space, trying to salvage plays, throwing the run, and, you know, turn those into easy completions down the field. But bottom line here, QB playmaker trick, always make sure you're holding left trigger while flicking that right stick in the direction of where you want your man to run to. Alright, so if you found either of those first two mechanics helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks every single day for you guys to help you get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want those first two tips or the next three that are come in written form to save on your phone during gameplay so you never have to go surfing through a video, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join CFB University, where your first month is only going to be $1. You get access to all of my written breakdowns for the month of May and in the future with screenshots to help guide you as well. It's really a no-brainer, and I would hate for you to miss out on this opportunity. But let's jump into those final three mechanics. Because next I want to break down a way that's going to help you recognize the blitz every single time and stop taking those horrible sacks. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'm going to be calling flood here from bunch A strong offset, alright? And so really what you're going to see is we have flame icons over the head of certain defenders in this game, and so when you look at your play art, you're going to be able to see those flame icons. And basically what this is telling you is if those guys blitz the quarterback, the offensive line is going to let them come in free. Don't get it mistaken though, it's not telling you that those guys are blitzing, it's just telling you that, hey, if those guys blitz, hey, we're going to let them come in free. Which here in this case, right, they're a little bit off the line of scrimmage, so they're not really that big of a threat, but I just need to peek right off the snap to see if they actually blitz, right? And this is even more important when you're sending 5 out, because now that I'm sending 5 out, now it changes where the flame icons are, right? Instead of it being over the two slot corners, right, one of them's over a linebacker now. So now I take the snap, one of them blitzes, and he actually came in free. I actually thought, I saw he blitzed, so I knew there was a potential for him to come in free, but I actually didn't think that he was going to loop all the way around. But you just see how he looped all the way around and through, and they actually, I mean, he had a chance to block him, but they did say they weren't going to block him, so they didn't, and so that's why it's important to recognize that, to get rid of the ball. Luckily, I was able to just, and that's what's really important, is I got the ball to the area that he left. He's the middle linebacker, so I just get the ball to exactly where he's vacating, and that's really the best practice, right? So now we see where the two flame icons are in this case, and so one of them blitzes, and we see how one of them comes in free, right? And so that's really the biggest thing, is you have to go through your read progression, understand that you don't have all day to throw. Right now, like I said, when you block your running back, now there's only one flame icon, right? And he doesn't blitz. So now I just have plenty of time to make my read, and we're going to just make that play happen. So it's certainly going to be easier for you to block blitzes and block, you know, pass protection when you block your running back, but you see how now neither of them blitz, and honestly, we don't have anyone open here, so I just end up having to throw the ball away. So obviously you still get guys open. They ran man coverage there. No one got open right there, but it's like you're not getting blitzed, and that's the whole point. You don't want to take sacks, right? That's the whole point of these flame icons, because now you know who would come in free if they blitz. And so if you just do this every play, you never forget to check your flame icons, right? You're going to have a whole lot easier. Like, he blitzes. I see the slot corner. I see he blitzes, and so I know I have to get rid of the ball quickly, and so I'm just able to turn this into a huge gain down the field because I know the area that I need to get the ball to, you know, in case he came in free, right? And I see he does, right? So boom, I see he comes in free. I know I need to just throw the ball where he left, and so, you know, it's just easy. because they're literally telling you, hey, which one of these defenders, if they blitz, are going to come in clean. So when you start to utilize your flame icons, you see who's blitzing, check it pre-play, and then you see, and then you know where to get the ball to. You're going to stop taking those sacks, and you're going to drastically improve your pass protection, which is going to help your offense overall in general. Alright, before I jump to those final 2 broken mechanics that you're absolutely going to not want to miss here in CFB 26, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down college football 26 tips and tricks here on YouTube every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But let's jump into those final 2 mechanics. Which that next one is going to be a glitch route that's really effective against both man and zone coverage. It honestly gets a speed boost right out of its break, and it's why you need to start using it. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so we're going to put them in random defense here, and the route that I'm talking about, you can actually do this from any play, where we're going to call a post route, or you're going to hot route a post, or have the post route stock, like on X right here. But what you're going to do is you're going to press Y, and then you're going to click his icon, which is X here, and then you're going to use the left bumper and the left stick all the way down. So you're going to basically custom stem the post route all the way down here, and what you're going to notice is this route is going to be really great against all coverages, right? Because right here, they're going to be in zone, and you just see how he basically is able to get out to that sideline way faster because he gets a speed boost right off the line of scrimmage, but he still runs that like it's a crossing route. You see how, like, he breaks so short. Like, he breaks like 2 yards into the play, but yet he's still able to run over the top and get to the deep sideline in the same way that a crossing route does, but he does it way sooner, which, you know, opens up the timing of the play for us and makes it to where we don't need as much time to be able to, you know, throw this ball, right? Versus, like, if I leave this as a regular post route and I run zone coverage right here, look, I don't even think he's going to get to the sideline area. Right, I really don't. Like, by the time, let's see when he gets to the side, it's just way deeper, right? And that's still valuable, right? Because we're still able to pick up yards, but it just takes a whole lot longer to actually get up to the sideline area of the field against zone coverage, right? And so that's why it's really valuable for you to actually stem it all the way down, because now you don't quite need as much time in the pocket in order to get this pass right here, right? And, you know, as long as your quarterback can actually throw the ball down the field, you're still getting that guy wide open, and it's still going to be an easy completion for you. So stemming that post route all the way down is really the most effective thing that you could do. But not only is it great against zone coverage, it's also going to be great against man, because now we're just going to have them be in like cover 1 hole, for example, and what you're just going to see is he's going to get a pretty good boost out of this cut. Boom, and you're just able to see how he creates that separation right there, where if I go to throw that pass, I'm able to almost bring it in if my quarterback, you know, wants to throw a green pass. But obviously, man coverage is kind of wonky and fluky anyway, so you're not necessarily going to beat man coverage every single time, but you can pretty much rely on this route against man to just be able to create that separation. Just like right there, we get a green pass, and we're able to get that ball out in front of him. Honestly, even better when you combine it with like abilities like cutter, where you have, you know, a cut ability to help you get more separation. But that's just how this route runs. It gets really great separation at the top of the route, is able to get to its spot really effectively, and especially when you combine it with a good route concept like this play wide trail here from Bunch Strong Nasty, right? This play can beat, now because of your post, this play can beat man and zone, right? Whether your post route gets open or whether you want to check it down to your trail route or your drag, right? This, you know, trail route is a great option in the middle because now you have a high-low concept. So really, it doesn't matter what defense they run, as long as you have this post route on the field, you custom stem it all the way down. And like I said, it's not just this play. Any post route from a bunch of alignment, you stem it all the way down, it's going to be really effective for you. And you know, you just go with it again, boom, you just see how the post route just gets right to the spot, does a great job of getting open on time and making that an easy completion. So bottom line here, make sure you start using stem down posts, especially from bunch alignments, and you're going to be able to beat man and zone really easily. But that last broken mechanic that I want to show you is actually a way to make your pressure a whole lot better. Let me introduce you to the guess pass feature. Alright, so guess pass feature, what we want to pay attention to, and there's two pretty good use cases for this, all right? So what we're gonna see is that first, this is going to make your sheds better, okay? Because right here, sheds are already fluky enough. So there's gonna be plays where you shed immediately, there's gonna be plays where the quarterback has all day. But what I'm gonna tell you is when you press RB and then right stick up to pass commit, which is what we call the guest pass feature, the pass commit, right? This is going to make your sheds and just your overall pass rush a whole lot better, because what you're going to notice right here is that man wins quickly, gets a quick swim move on that left side, and then he's able to get pressure. Now, I want to make sure you understand this. Even when you don't, because I did pass commit there, even when you don't pass commit, right, you can still, it's not like you're just going to lose every pass rush rep. Like, you can still shed and you still will, but pass committing is just going to make it a little bit faster, sometimes a lot faster, just like that. This play, I'm not going to pass commit. We're going to see, right, where, I mean, it just takes, I mean, they just have more time to throw. And like I said, right, this is obviously going to be an isolated sample size, but if you continue to go into a game, I've done this all year, right, a lot of top players have, but what you're just going to see is when you start pressing RB and right stick up to pass commit, you're going to get a whole lot better pressure on the quarterback. Right here, again, we are going to pass commit, and let's see what happens here, where we're able to get, yeah, number 98, that one was even, wasn't as fast as the first one, but was faster than the time that I didn't pass commit, simply because you're literally telling your pass rushers and all your defenders that, hey, a pass play is coming, and what that does for your pass rushers is tell them to try to win a pass rush rep, where they don't have to focus on like setting the edge in a run play or kicking over to, you know, stop the run, right? They just can really do a great job of, you know, teeing off on the quarterback and really going to get him down. So really, that's the first great use case for the, you know, the pass commit. But also, when you're calling a blitz, like this one, linebacker cross 3 show 2 right here, what you're just going to see is when you pass commit, a lot of times your blitz is going to be faster and your guys are going to do a better job of looping around. So this is like a loop blitz right here, and what we're just going to see is we're able to get that guy to, you know, loop through and kind of come through right there. If I was, you know, getting the attention of the offensive line, maybe I could do a better job of actually going and getting the quarterback on the ground a little bit quicker, which I will do right here, where if you can turn this guard outside, sometimes that'll allow for him to come in clean. You just see how our pressure is, you know, able to, you know, get the quarterback there. But also, it's important that you understand when you combine the two, because not only when you blitz, you still have guys that are just rushing the quarterback, right? Only 2 of these guys are really blitzing, this guy and this guy. The other 3 D linemen, they're just rushing the passer, right? And so you're going to make their pass rush better, and you're also going to make it a little bit easier for your linebackers here, in this case, the guys that are blitzing, to be able to go get the quarterback on the ground. So you're just able to see how this time we loop through again. This time they pick us up, and we're going to try to still get our pass rushers to win their rep as fast as possible. So really, like I said, the best use case for this is, you know, either when you're just sending a regular pass rush like this, just press RB, right stick up to pass commit your defense, and a lot of time you're just going to see how your sheds are going to be a little bit quicker than they normally would, or you're going to push your way into the quarterback sooner than if you don't pass commit. But the last thing that I will say about this is be careful and only pass commit on passing plays, or when you think they're passing, because if you pass commit and they run the ball, you're just going to see how, I mean, there's going to be times where they can rip off touchdowns because your whole team is just going to run slower against the run. Right, you're just able to see how, I mean, like, we're able to just get to the second level sooner. Your D linemen are going to suck in run, or, you know, trying to shed run blocks, right? And so, like I said, only try to pass commit when you think there's no chance that they're running the ball and that they're only passing. But you're able to see how when they do pass, your sheds are going to be better and your blitzes are going to be a little bit quicker. Alright, so if you found any of those broken mechanics helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want all 5 of these tips in written form to save on your phone and always reference them during gameplay, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join CFB University, where your first month is only going to be $1. I guarantee it'll transform the way you're able to win more games here in CFB 26, because you can save all the tips on your phone during gameplay and never have to go surfing through the video. So what are you thinking? Join today for $1. But if you want to see 5 tips to help your offense specifically here in CFB 26, check out this video. I'll see you over there. Peace.